The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Find furniture for the family room, bedroom, dining room, or home office. With new items arriving every week, discover furnishings and inspiration to create a better life at home. Harveys Furniture, our home, your home.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Bob Goff, filling in for Ashley Conrad. My guest today is Kathleen Helsabeck from the Quincy Public Library, where she is the director. Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon.
I'm here. I'm good. Are you good?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for Christmas? Got all your shopping done?
No, still got last few minute things to get.
No wrapping done yet either?
No wrapping done either.
Yeah, me neither. So, talk a little bit about the bookmobile. I hear we're close.
Yes, we are close. We are only $59,000 left to finalize the whole purchase of the bookmobile. The Quincy Public Library Board has put a down payment on it in May of 2022, May of 2022. And so we're just raising the last few dollars and waiting for it to arrive in 2024.
What sort of special things are you doing to try to pick up that extra $59,000?
Yes. We have partnered graciously. The Tracy Family Foundation has given us a matching grant, $25,000 matching grant. So we are really excited about that. We had a great fundraiser, a silent auction, online auction in the spring, and now we're wrapping that up at the end. It'll end the end of January, and so we're doing our annual campaign, and we are really excited to involve the community in this last push. So we need $14,000 left for that particular section of this $49,000.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So, it's not, again, the Tracy Family Foundation does such great work, and they
do.
help so many worthy causes. And, we had a bookmobile once upon a time.
We did. We have had four.
Four bookmobiles.
Quincy Public Library has had four bookmobiles since 1959.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is this one going to be like a tricked out RV
Yes.
with all the fun stuff?
Yes.
And if I can I rent it if I want to go camping or something?
No,
Darn.
not quite.
I think that'd be a great way to raise money with it.
Well, you could read a lot of books while you're camping.
You could, yeah. So why? Especially with the proliferation? Everything's
Right.
online, but people also say, well, why do some people are like go to the point where why do we need libraries? Of course, we need libraries.
Yes.
And why do we need a bookmobile to go along with our library?
Yes. Now is the time.
What are you going to do with the bookmobile?
Yes, the bookmobile is going to go everywhere, all around the town, even into the townships that surround Quincy's city limits. The 4 townships created their own library district back in the 90s, and so we always include them whenever we do anything. But most importantly, a few years ago, the United Way put out their annual community survey, and in that, it talked about how transportation was a huge barrier to access for mainly the medical facilities and things like that. But we also notice over the last several years, and especially since COVID and all the different things, that transportation is a barrier to the library as well. QPL wants to bring the library to the citizens of Quincy and travel around the areas where it's hard to get to, where people don't have transportation, where they don't have access to those materials. They can't go to story times. They can't check out a book. And so QPL board and the QPL library is actively working to create that access.
Well, I think when you put it that way, I mean, it sounds like a great idea, and I hope that again, if you don't need that much more money, so it sounds like you're really close.
We are really close.
So I'm anticipating the big unveiling and grant. Can you wheel it here in the parking lot when you get it? And
definitely.
We'd love to see it. I mean, we're only a block away. We'll probably come take some pictures of it too. So
yes.
We'll
be here for Blues in the District, farmers markets, activities, makers market here on 6th Street. 6th Street's just booming, so we're really excited to do that.
When do you think you're getting it in 24?
We're still working with the company to see what date it'll be here in 2024, but we'll definitely have it everywhere. I'm thinking some ward parties and
Great.
different areas of town.
I think
with
that's a
the
great
aldermen,
idea.
And
I think you take a look at it, and again, to kind of, again, to get, and also if you take the library to people, it also might inspire them to, okay, I can make it down to the library when I need to. I mean, I know when the kids were, we're almost empty nesters now, but you're taking the kids to the library and of course my kids, when they come back, they still love to go and do the used books and go shopping there. So
the Friends of the Library do a great used book sale. And the other thing is, with the mobile library, it's just a good opportunity to read books. Books are never going to go away.
Right.
The library will never stop reading, buying books.
Yeah.
But children need to learn the love of reading by holding a book, physically holding the book,
Sure.
turning the pages, sitting with somebody as they read or as they're being listened to. All of that fosters the individual and the citizen of Quincy, and so we're helping to develop that person as well.
And I still prefer books. I just don't like reading a book on, I'm online on the screen all the time anyway. Every once in a while I just want a break to read a book.
Right.
So, well, anyway, best of luck, and keep us posted, and if there's anything else we can do to help you get the word out that you're trying to make this final push to get the bookmobile taken care of, and we will look forward to the grand unveiling next year.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Kathleen Helsabeck with the Quincy Public Library. We'll be back in a minute.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be. Before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Welcome back. My guest is Daniel McCleery, and we are talking about some legal issues. One particular one, a very interesting Supreme Court ruling that we were talking earlier, really up your alley when it comes to accidents and how they're related.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a personal injury case. The basic fact pattern is we've got a 14-year-old boy who is riding a bicycle, and he's using a green light. He has the right-of-way to travel, and he's going across the street, and he gets hit by a vehicle. Vehicle does not stop. Kid is obviously badly hurt. Vehicle takes off. It's a hit and run. The dad of this 14-year-old boy files an uninsured motorist claim with his insurance carrier, his motor vehicle insurance carrier. Insurance carrier says, "Sorry, Dad. Sorry, son. We're denying your claim because you weren't in a vehicle that is covered under our policy. You were riding a motorcycle." The case gets argued at the local level, at the appellate level, and then makes it to the Illinois Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the state of Illinois. And the Illinois Supreme Court unanimously finds that there is coverage under the uninsured motorist policy. And basically what they say is the public policy, the purpose of uninsured motorist coverage is to have that when you otherwise would have a motor vehicle claim against someone else. Mm-hmm. So in other words, let's say the guy who hit him did have motor vehicle insurance. He would have had a legal right, the boy would, to make a claim against that policy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Illinois Supreme Court says, we're not going to look or focus in on whether he was on a bike, whether he was walking, or whether he was in a car. If he would have had coverage under that motor vehicle policy, then your uninsured motorist coverage should apply. And the boy received the policy limits of that coverage, which were $25,000, which is the state minimum still in Illinois. And he was able to recover something for his injury.
I mean, it sounds like when you kind of look at it in that light, it's like, well, yeah, because in this would be a case where not having insurance would be a benefit, and it's like, well, no, you want to have an insurance. You want to encourage people to have great insurance.
I mean, so I explain to people all the time the importance of underinsurance coverage and uninsured coverage. And legally, you're required to have both. So if you have a motor vehicle and you have insurance on it, you have that form of coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the key is calling up your insurance agent and finding out, how much do I have? The state minimum is $25,000, but you can have more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people carry the same amount as their liability insurance. So
right.
if you have $100,000 worth of motor vehicle insurance for liability, you generally will have $100,000 of uninsured, underinsured coverage. But it's very important, and this case is giving the chance for a recovery at a higher possibility. I mean, you're getting more bang for your buck now in Illinois with a finding like this, because you're paying for underinsured coverage when it'll apply, and you may not necessarily be in a vehicle. You know, I mean, the example here is this son. He wasn't a named insured on that policy, but there was a clause in the policy that says all family get coverage.
Yeah.
And that's how he got it. So, yeah, the important thing is call up your insurance agent and say, how much underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage do I have? And is this enough, or could I afford more? Because that's coverage for yourself. You know, I can't tell you how many times I sit down with people and they're in a really bad accident and they've got, $100,000 in medical bills. Mm-hmm. And there's $50,000 worth of insurance. There's $25,000 worth of insurance. And I say, well, what's your underinsured coverage look like? And they'll be like, well, I've got the state minimum, or I've got $50,000.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm saying, if you carry 100, 250, you're looking at a recovery that is what you deserve.
Sure. Well, looking at this, knowing how, having spent a little bit of time in Springfield, knowing how the lobbyists work, right. I'm sure the insurance lobby is going to kind of go after this and say, okay, how can we close this one? How can we fix this?
Yeah. So I think what's going to probably happen is they're going to. But see, the interesting thing is the Illinois Supreme Court made it hard for the insurers, because what they essentially found is that the insurance policy was against the public policy of the state of Illinois, that it violated the insurance code. But there will be some drafting. There will be some creative ways to try and write this into insurance policies. Maybe, and I don't know how they're going to do that, because this is a really good ruling for the people. But I'm sure that will happen for sure. But the other flip side is, hey, go buy more underinsured coverage.
Yeah.
Start paying the insurance company a little more a month to get more coverage, because it's going to apply generally in a situation like this.
If I'm the insurance company or the insurance agents, that's what I do.
Absolutely.
I push it. I would look at this. I would talk about this. I'd see this story in the news, and I'd say, hey, I'd remind my policyholders, hey, you might need to bump this up a little bit just in case.
And people will say, well, this is going to drive up the cost of insurance. Yeah, it probably will. But for you personally, obviously you have to do what's financially responsible for you. But when we're talking about $15, $20, $25 maybe a month more, if that. I don't know. An insurance agent would be able to tell you more how much that. But, okay, if you are in an accident and you've got $100,000 worth of medical bills, and then you've got a $250,000 policy, you're probably going to get $250,000 on $100,000 worth of medical versus getting $25,000.
Yeah.
And that is protection for yourself, for your family members, and anyone who's using your car.
Certainly better safe than sorry, no doubt about it. Let's switch gears here. We've had a lot of conversations around this table as of late about the lawyer shortage in Quincy, if you will, whether it's the state's attorney's office, whether it's the public defender's office, trying to find people, trying to figure a way to cover cases. And we've talked about, talked to several lawyers in town. Of course, you are a young attorney. You're still young.
Yeah.
You're a young attorney who did opt to come back home and begin a practice. So talk a little bit about why you made the decision to come back home and practice law.
Well, I love the Quincy community. first and foremost. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to have a lot of good connections and, close family and friends. So that was a big decision for me. At the time I came back, there were also some other younger lawyers who I knew and respected, and I was, friends with them, so that helped too. But it's a complicated problem, and I think there's generations of people that come back to Quincy and some who don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like right now there's just maybe more people who might be a lawyer, who might go to law school, that aren't opting to come back. One thing is in a bigger city, well, practically one thing is when you get out of law school, you can have some pretty high debt.
Yeah, that's been the big thing we talked about.
And so it's just math. When you're in a bigger city, you're at a bigger law firm, you're with a bigger city or municipality, they can afford to pay you more, right? I mean, that's just dollars and cents. So if you're getting out of school and you've got, $100,000 in debt, you're going to pick a job or a career path that's going to help pay that off faster.
Sure.
I think that's, probably the primary reason why. But yeah, I don't know. It's a kind of a complicated problem.
Well, again, it's thankfully, a lot of guys. There are more and more. Seems to be we had a few more guys like you who are kind of coming back and doing this, and they could use a few more. That's for sure. And again, we talked about this a little earlier. It seems like there's kind of this. You've got a lot of the senior attorneys who are just getting ready to probably, decide to go play a little more golf and head off in the sunset or whatever. And then you've got a lot of the younger ones coming in, and it's kind of an each end and not a lot in the middle right now.
Right. I think that's a good point. And I will say, like practice of law, a lot like some other professions, accounting and medicine, you can do it now for quite a long time.
Sure.
Right? I mean, you can practice for a long time, so I think the turnover is a little slower because of that, which, 20 years from now, I'm going to be saying, hooray, great, this is fantastic. But, I think that's part of the issue as well, is you don't have as much kind of turnover in past, but that's a reality of the business.
Some people might say that the how you become retire from being a lawyer is become a judge. So. Just kidding, all my judge friends out there, and Daniel certainly wasn't agreeing with that statement.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we need more judges too.
That's right, and no doubt about it.
So that becomes a factor as well.
All right, Daniel McCleery with McCleery Law. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Ashley and Brittany will be back tomorrow, and they'll see you then.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.